You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 152.1, our daily report for all things Central Indiana sports, along with a little national sports news.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, please know that we appreciate you spending some time with us. Today's January 18th, 2025. It's a Saturday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Producer Susie is sound asleep. I'm all on my own. She will join me for the girls wrestling state finals report, which will be released sometime later Sunday, sometime in the evening, Monday morning at the absolute latest. We will have our daily report for you every single day, as the title suggests. It covers everything I believe Central Indiana sports fans want to know about sports. It's focused mostly on high school sports and college sports in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and northern Hamilton counties. But we'll also give you updates on things like IU, Purdue, Colts, Pacers, etc., plus major national news. Today we have boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and swimming results from all around Central Indiana, plus NFL playoff, Pacers-76ers, and a whole lot of college basketball. But before we get to Saturday's boys basketball results, please like, subscribe, or follow us on your favorite podcasting host so you don't miss a single segment. Don't forget that we're also on YouTube now. Please go there and check us out. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. We are super easy to find. All right, let's get to boys basketball. Wapahani is the Delaware County champion for the second time in 3 years. And the sixth time overall. Wapahani beat Yorktown 48-34. The 12-0 record for Yorktown is its best start in program history, tied with last year. Last year's team's first loss came in the Delaware County Championship against Delta. Junior Camden Bell had 13 points to lead the way for the Class 2A number 1 Raiders. Class 2A number 12 Tipton held off Class A number 11 Clinton Prairie for a 48-45 win. The 10-2 Blue Devils have won 8 games in a row. The Gophers had a couple of shots to tie the game at the end of regulation, but came up short a night after a very impressive win over Carroll. For Tipton, Grady Carpenter had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 steals. Javon Harris converted a clutch 3-point play with 3 seconds left. Taylor beat Western 50-49. The 2A number 10 Titans are now 12-1. Western led 39-35 after 3 quarters. The Panthers dropped to 9-5. Luke Jones' 3-pointer at the regulation buzzer sent the game into overtime, and Brody Judge hit a big 3-pointer in overtime, and Lapel beat Connorsville 53-44 on Saturday. The Bulldogs are now 7-5. 4A number 15 Kokomo had its second straight cold shooting night, and Mechaniqua's Josiah Ball, Fuddy Kyle, and Devin Murray took advantage as Mechaniqua beat the Wildcats 82-79 in overtime in an upset in Bunker Hill. Ball had 25 points, Kyle 17 points and 13 rebounds, and Murray had 16 points and 9 rebounds as Mechaniqua improved to 8-2. Kokomo's now 10-4. They were led by 21 points from senior Zion Bellamy. Wildcats head coach John Peckinpah was ejected with his team down 48-36 in the third quarter. Sixth-ranked Anderson scored the game's final 8 points to pull away from Hamilton Southeastern for its 9th win in a row, 65-56. Damian King had 20 points after going over 1,000 points Friday in a big win at Lafayette Jeff. Seniors Aaron Morgan and Javon Winfield had 13 points each for the Indians. Muncie Central outscored Chittard 33-13 in the second half and picked up a 63-50 comeback win. On Saturday was the third win in a row for the Bearcats, their longest winning streak since late in the 2022-23 season. Freshman Jackson Johnson had 15 points to lead Central, and Landon Wells had 14. Young, talented Bearcats team starting to string some wins together. Homestead won its sixth straight game and handed Marion its fifth loss in a row, 63-54. For Marion, Amar Rogers had 22 points and Tim Jones had 18. Blackford beat Winchester 47-44. It's the first time this year that Blackford has won a Saturday game following a Friday game. Gage Baker had 18 points. Mari Leggett had 14 for the 8-5 Bruins. The loss ended a 4-game winning streak for Winchester. Eastbrook won for the fourth time in its last 5 games and is now 6-6 after beating Eastern 44-24. The only loss in that stretch was a game they led in the fourth quarter. They're really close to having 5 straight wins. Lincoln Fathauer scored 9 of his game-high 24 points in the first quarter as Anderson Prep jumped out to a 23-13 lead over Tri-Central and led the rest of the way in a 77-66 win. It's the Jets' 8th win of the season. Zamarian Bryant added 20 points, Cameron Anderson 15, and Marcus McLean 14 in the win. Drake Ramsier and Jay Jankoviak had 17 points apiece for the Trojans. Class A number 8 Liberty Christian clinched the Pioneer North Division with a 78-64 win over Seton Catholic and will play either Bethesda Christian, Greenwood Christian, or Shortridge for the conference championship on February 14th. I have a feeling I know which one they'd prefer. The Lions are now 9-5. Shelbyville shot 55% and outscored Pendleton Heights 35-19 in the second half to pick up a 62-42 Hoosier Heritage victory on Saturday. Shelbyville is now 12-3 overall and 3-1 in the Hoosier Heritage. They are tied with New Pal in second place, a game behind Greenfield Central. Mar Nicholson was 6 for 8 from the field and led all scorers with 18 points. Joe Estes led the Arabians with 12. Greenfield Central outscored Eastern Hancock 38-14 in the first quarter and 54-25 in the first half, and a 100-46 victory on Saturday. Braylon Mullen scored 41 points and barely played more than a half. If you haven't seen him, do yourself a favor. He's sensational. Wish he would have stayed in the state, but either way, go out and see him play. He's worth it. The Cougars are now ranked 3rd in Class 4A. They're 11-2. Mount Vernon beat Mooresville 72-58 to improve to 9-3 on the year. After a back-and-forth first half, 3A number 3 Guerin Catholic built a 62-49 lead in the fourth quarter and had to hold off Class 3A number 2 Cathedral for a 70-67 win. Those teams will probably see each other again. West Lafayette improved to 11-3 with a 57-55 win over Danville. Junior Benworth had 21 points and 7 boards for the Red Devils, who've won 10 of their last 11 games. Class A number 6 Carroll is 8-2. They held Pioneer to 9 first-half points and a 54-34 victory. Central Catholic picked up a nice 67-50 win over Faith Christian. The Knights trailed 21-6 after the first quarter before outscoring Faith 61-29 the rest of the way. Mikey Stapleton hit 6 3-pointers and scored 27 points for Central Catholic. Northwestern improved to 7-5 overall and 4-1 in the Three Rivers Conference after beating Northfield 55-42. Logansport beat Cass 76-53. Rossville improved to 9-5 with a 78-63 win over Frankfort. It was Peru 70, Dwenger 57. Fort Wayne South got past Huntington North 77-65. North Miami 55, North Judson 44. Northeastern beat Knightstown 69-48. And Tri-County had no problem with Clinton Central 51-27. Number 1 Fishers beat 12th ranked South Bend Riley 89-29. Crazy. Nathan Baker led a balanced Tigers attack with 14 points. North Central scored the final 11 points in the final 5 minutes of the game to win the Marion County Championship 48-44 over 7th ranked Ben Davis. And Center Grove beat Greenwood 63-36 to win the Johnson County title. To girls basketball, Oak Hill is 18-1 and 6-0 in the CIC after beating Eastbrook 45-32 on Saturday. It's her second win over the defending CIC champion Panthers this season. 4 Golden Eagles scored 8 points apiece to lead the team. Cora Pond, Landry Hardman, Alexa Myers, and Brianna Daly. Daly also had 7 boards and Hardman 5 steals. In the 2A number 17 Oak Hill's 14th straight win. The only CIC game left for the Eagles to win to claim the conference championship is Saturday at home against 19-1 and third-ranked Alexandria. That's all. Frankton beat Madison Grant 56-23. The Eagles scored 25 points in the first quarter. They're now 9-10 on the season. 4 different players scored in double figures for Frankton. Macy and Ann Curtis led the team with 11 points each. Emma Key and Lainey Hamaker both scored 10. Jasmine Rainey led Madison Grant with 10. Maconaquah beat Mississinawa 54-37. Hamilton Heights beat Tipton 57-24. Hamilton Heights is 5-5 in its last 10 games after starting the season 0-9. Northfield got by Northwestern 51-42 in a big day in the Three Rivers Conference. Class 2A number 13 Whitco improved to 7-0 in the conference and 13-3 overall by beating Southwood 52-33. Whitco was the only Three Rivers Conference unbeaten team, but has a couple of tough tests left in the conference against 10-6 Maconaquah and 9-7 Northfield. Wabash will be the team that hopes that Whitco is upset in one of those 2 games. Wabash is 15-4 overall, 6-1 in the conference after a 57-38 win over Manchester. Rochester beat Cass 34-32, so it looks like Rochester will finish third in the Three Rivers Conference. Delphi got past Eastern 54-33 in the Hoosier Heartland. And also in the Hoosier Heartland, Clinton Central beat Faith Christian 53-51. Lafayette Jeff improved to 3-0 in the North Central Conference with a 74-38 win over Anderson. Mount Vernon beat Shelbyville 40-33. 18-3 McCutcheon beat Class 2A number 2 Rensselaer Central 67-51. Rensselaer Central is now 17-2. Shenandoah beat Randolph Southern 70-25. 2A number 11 Eastern Hancock beat Waldron 73-31. The Royals are now 16-2. And Centerville beat Westdell 73-34. Delta avenged an earlier loss to win the Delaware County Championship 54-43 over Wabahani. The Eagles are now 13-4 and have won 6 straight, 9 of their last 10. Amazing turnaround the last couple of years under Tyronda Benning for that Delta program. Some other scores from just outside of our area. Central Catholic beat Benton Central 66-55, big win for the Knights. 10th win Center Grove beat Lawrence North 59-56. It was Pike 64, Ben Davis 48. And 2A number 5 Bluffton beat Southern Wells 84-31 to win the ACAC championship. That's the Adams County Athletic Conference, but it's a lot more than Adams County now. To some high school wrestling from Saturday, Kokomo won its first NCC title since 2014 and its fifth overall Saturday at Kokomo. The Wildcats beat Marion by 9 points and Lafayette Jeff by 19 in a very close team race. Muncie Central was fifth and Anderson was sixth. Kokomo had four champions, so did Marion. Kokomo's four champions were senior Sal El-Sadiq, Jebediah Beard, and Gabe Newland, and junior Christian Damewood. Marion had freshman Adrian Parrish, sophomore Hickson Love, junior Sean Caldwell, and senior Anthony O'Neill. For Muncie Central, senior Nathan Spears won at 113 pounds, and Anderson senior Jensen Schrock won at 175. Rensselaer Central beat Hamilton Heights and host Western to win the Hoosier Conference Team Championship Saturday. Hamilton Heights senior Michael Kane was the champion at 165 pounds. He's now 39-1. Western had three champions with seniors Liam Bumgarner and Brody Burns and junior Devin Frazier. Tipton's William Wolford was the 175-pound champion. He's now 28-3 on the year. Greenfield Central won the Hoosier Heritage Conference by 27 points over runner-up New Pal. Yorktown was third. Delta was fourth, and Pendleton Heights finished seventh. Freshman Reed Wicker and seniors Aiden Bollinger and Cabe Stebbins won conference championships for Delta. Cowan had three champions at the Adams Central Invitational. Ashton Goney won at 138, Jackson Bradley at 157, and Noah Modlin at 165. Eastern's Tristan Elmore and Andrew Cavazos were champions for the sixth place Comets. Frankton went 2-5 at the CIC duels Friday and Saturday. The Eagles had three unbeaten wrestlers in Riley Inglis, Kane Oakley, and Jonah Ellis. The Eagles' losses were to Alexander and Oak Hill. We hope to have all the CIC results and everything from Saturday's conference championships and invitationals later in the week in the wrestling report. To high school swimming, Oak Hill's girls and Centerville's boys won the first ever Eastern Indiana Swim Conference Championship Saturday at Centerville. Oak Hill and Centerville finished first and second in both the boys and the girls meets. Blackford was third, Eastern fourth, and Elwood fifth in the girls. Kanae Drollinger and Addison Carey were four-time CIC champions for the Golden Eagles. Western's boys won the Hoosier Conference title Saturday at Purdue. They were buoyed by Charlie Brewers and Gavin Boris, three conference championships, and a lot of good team depth. West Lafayette was second. Hamilton Heights finished third. Tipton's Jacoby Defoe won the 50 freestyle championship. West Lafayette won the girls championship just ahead of Hamilton Heights. Hamilton Heights got three Hoosier Conference championships from sophomore Amira Lear. Western finished sixth and Tipton was sixth. Maconaquah swept the Three Rivers Conference, easily winning the girls championship by 144 points and edging Northwestern in the boys race. Northwestern junior Sam Martin won the 200 IM and the 100 butterfly. Again, we will have full results from all of these meets in our swimming report later in the week. Please look for that. In the NFL playoffs, two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will be playing in their seventh consecutive AFC Championship game next Sunday after beating Houston 23-14. And Washington is into the NFC Championship for the first time since 1991, the last time they won the Super Bowl, after beating the Lions 45-31. The divisional round continues Sunday with the Rams at the Eagles at 3 on NBC, then finishes with Baltimore at Buffalo at 6:30 on CBS. Can't wait for that one. Will Rutherford will have his reaction to the entire divisional round about 15 minutes after the Ravens-Bills game on Sunday evening. The Pacers handled shorthanded Philadelphia 115-102 Saturday for their 13th win in their last 17 games. The Pacers shot 53% and led by as many as 16 points with about 8 minutes left. Pascal Siakam led the Pacers with 21 points, and Aaron Nesmith, Thomas Bryant, and Ben Shepherd all scored 12 points off the Pacers bench. Tyrese Maxey had a game-high 28 points. The Indy Ignite women's professional volleyball team improved to 3-0 all-time with a thrilling 5-set 25-18, 32-30, 19-25, 22-25, 15-11 win at Columbus. Member Minna Leketter had 29 kills in the win. The Ignite go to a couple of matches out west the next 2 Fridays. The USA men's soccer team beat Venezuela 3-1 in an international friendly. And to a whole bunch of college basketball. Purdue won its 7th consecutive game, beating number 13 Oregon 65-58 Saturday. Like they did on Wednesday at Washington, Purdue completely dominated the second half in Eugene. Trey Kaufman-Wren led the way again with 23 points and 11 rebounds. National Player of the Year contender Braden Smith had 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals. The 17th ranked Boilermakers are now 15-4 overall and 7-1 in the Big Ten, trailing only 12th ranked Michigan State, which is 6-0 in the conference, and they host number 19 Illinois Sunday at noon. It's 4 hours. Purdue's next 3 games are at home: Ohio State on Tuesday, Michigan Friday, then a week off before hosting IU the following Friday. Ball State was dealt a 93-75 home loss to Toledo Saturday. It's Ball State's 3rd loss in its last 4 games, and the Cardinals are now 8-9 overall and 2-3 in the MAC. Winchester grad Peyton Sparks led Ball State with 20 points. Anderson improved to 5-0 in January and 8-1 in the Heartland Conference with a 103-73 win over Earlham on Saturday at the O.C. Lewis. Tate Ivanhoe led the Ravens with 27 points. Rob Davidson had a double-double of 11 points and 12 rebounds. Freshman Nolan Swan of Tipton had 9 points off the Anderson bench. Taylor lost 74-62 to 10th-ranked Bethel to fall to 11-8. Anton Webb led the Trojans with 13 points and 8 rebounds. Monroe Central grad Jackson Ullum had 11 points and led Taylor with 3 assists. Bethel is 9-0 in the Crossroads Conference, 2 games ahead of second-place Grace. Marion got past Indiana Wesleyan 78-71 Saturday in Indy. Sophomore Cademan Bontrager had a huge performance in the loss with 30 points and 10 rebounds. The Wildcats are now 13-6 and 3-6 in the Crossroads. IUE snapped IUK's 8-game winning streak Saturday in Kokomo, 97-93. IU East also beat the Cougars women 70-63. Ball State's women are now 6-0 in the MAC after dominating Akron at home on Saturday. The Cardinals led by as many as 30 points in the 80-57 victory. 5 Cardinals scored in double figures, led by 18 points from Madeline Bischoff. The second-ranked Indiana Wesleyan women are 19-0 after beating 17th-ranked Marion 77-69 Saturday in Indianapolis. Lily Fraser and Taylor Folkema scored 18 points apiece for the Wildcats. Taylor's women beat Bethel 75-59 to end a 6-game losing streak. Westfield's Ava Henson led the Trojans with 19 points. Anderson edged Earlham 69-65 in Richmond. Paige Williamson made all 5 of her 3-point attempts in the second quarter to help the Ravens tie the game at the half. Williams led Anderson with 17 points off the bench. And Washington beat Purdue 87-58 in Seattle IU's women host 4th-ranked USC and Juju Watkins Saturday at noon. With a win, IU would be right back in the Big Ten race. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you so much for listening. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.